Welcome back to another video. This is the Outer Worlds 2, and right now I reached a point where I could be in an open, very open area, which is an open field, unlike with the 5090, which was an open area, but it was not that open like this. This is the RTX 3060 Ti running 1080p DLAA with high settings, not medium, not low, high settings, because the very high goes a little bit above the VRAM limitation of this GPU, because the GPU only has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. So even though it says 6.5 something, I guess Windows also taking, a chunk of that gigabyte and a half that's remaining, and then the one that's usable for the game is just probably 6 gigabytes of VRAM. This is why 8 gigabytes GPUs are not recommended anymore to be bought. Nonetheless, this is DLAA, native resolution at 1080p, and it's giving us a little bit closer to 60 FPS. Well, it's 50, not really 60 FPS, but it's an open area, open field, and the game, has its artistic styles. Again, it looks like a Bethesda game, even though it's Unreal Engine 5 game. But one thing that you should keep looking on is looking at that frame time graph. That's what's going to determine the performance of this game. As you can see, the frame pacing of this game is pretty spot on solid. And the CPU is not being utilized that much. I saw that Digital Foundry, I call them DF, but Digital Foundry said that this game could be a little bit heavy on CPU because of, ray tracing, lumen, and the outside, the open area. But this is like the 7600X and like 40% being utilized, so like probably 2 cores or like 2.5 cores. So yeah, because this is only like 6-core CPU, so 40% is close to 3, but it's not 50%, it's 30 something goes to 40, so 2.5 cores probably. And the game, it looks beautiful. I do like this look. I like Bethesda games as well. This is not a Bethesda game, this is an Obsidian game, but again, they make games that look exactly like Bethesda games. And this one specifically, look at the, not the settings, look at the idle camera, why did it do that? It looks exactly like a Bethesda game, even the character, the environment, everything looks like Wolfenstein, but better graphics. This is what it looks like. And, oh, I can loot this guy. Can I, did I take that gun? Yeah, I took the gun. Oh, I already have a marksman. A repeater. I got a repeater. Alright, so right now it's running at native resolution. But who the fuck runs native resolution anymore? Let's run it on DLSS. This GPU does have DLSS, and this is DLSS 4 in this game. I think it's 3.10.4 something, but it's DLSS 4. And apply it. Go back outside. It does hit you when you change the settings or something, and now we're way above 60 FPS. It's like 70 FPS is good FPS for this game. This is a low-end GPU. Fight me for it. This GPU is a low-end right now. It was low-end when it launched. Well, it was medium-end, I would say, because there was the 3060 12 gigabytes was the lowest GPU you could buy for gaming on the 30 series. But this was a tier above that. And then don't even, talk to me about the 3050, 8 gigabytes or 6 gigabytes. Those are just video out. Those are GT 730 or GT 1030. Those are just video out GPUs. Yes, you can game on them, but you're not gonna get good performance. This was the lowest, not the lowest, the tier above the lowest end GPU of the 30 series. And it was mid-range. It was able to do 1440p back then, with ultra settings even. But again, 8 gigabytes of VRAM. 8 gigabytes of VRAM is not enough anymore. It was, developers were entertaining Nvidia for a long time, and they're sick and tired of Nvidia. Just they see AMD, having a lot of fucking VRAM in their GPUs right now. Well, they do have 8 gigabytes, but they offer the same kind of GPU. For example, a 3060 or a 5060, and Nvidia only has 8 gigabytes, right? 5060 only has 8 gigabytes. AMD has 8 and 16. So did I go talk to this guy? No, I don't really care about that guy. So I just care about, right now benchmarking the game. I'm not gonna pay attention to the story because I paid attention to the story long enough. And so as you can see right now, it's using 5.3 gigabytes of VRAM. It's gonna go to 6 if I go like to 1440p, but that's gonna be like the limit. It's not gonna go beyond like 7 or something like that, because the Windows has a claim on the VRAM itself as well. So let's go to DLSS Performance. Let's put it right here and then apply. Hit apply. And again, DLSS Performance, DLSS 4, you can see it still has some issues. Let me just zoom in on it. Look at that bush right there. It's flickering. You see that bush? It's flickering. I mean, this one as well. I think there's something wrong with the lighting system when you use DLSS Performance. I don't think it's because of the Unreal Engine 5. Oh, Unreal Engine 5 is bad all of a sudden. No, Unreal Engine 5 is good. As you can see, this is, you know, spitting out consistent frames and spitting out good performance, but the visual glitches are like the developer's fault. It's not Unreal Engine's fault, it's the developer's fault. This game does have some glitches here and there with the shadows and also with the ray tracing not working well. So yeah, right now, why did I go to the settings? So it's 76 FPS, was close to 80. It was 70 FPS right there on the starting area right there when I did DLSS Quality, but now I think it's DLSS Performance. And the quality of like the upscaling is pretty good. I mean, you can still see like every leaf separated by, you know, a good amount of quality and sharpness. It's not like it's blurring everything into one blob of, you know, bush of grass. Yeah, I mean, I think DLSS 4, still, I wouldn't really advise it. I would advise like DLSS balance in 1080p. But again, I saw a hardware unboxed video about DLSS qualities. Like DLSS Performance with DLSS 4 has negligible effect on the visual quality. It actually looks exactly like native. In some areas, it looks better. So let's just go back to DLSS Quality, right? Because why? Let me just put it back right there. I'm gonna be using frame generation, and yes, you can use frame generation in 30 series. Just go look for Nukem 9's mod frame generation. It's called DLSS G to FSR3 frame generation. What it does, it just runs FSR3, but in the frame generation on DLSS pipeline. So it's using Streamline from DLSS for the, you know, HUD fix and everything else, but the frame generation aspect of it is from FSR3. So it's not jittery, it's not jittery, it's not stuttery like FSR3. It's better. It's just like DLSS 3 frame generation or DLSS 4 frame generation, but it's running actually FSR 3 frame generation. So let's go back to the game, and you can see right now with DLSS Quality and frame generation, it's actually 120 FPS, which is, again, DLSS frame generation is not performance, it's just FPS. That is it. It doubles your FPS. Well, it doesn't really double, it just ducks your base FPS. For example, I had 70, it's gonna duck it to 60, and then it's gonna double it to 120. That's what happened actually. And this city right here is actually looking pretty nice. I mean, it looks like I don't know what it reminds me of. I don't want to say Outer Worlds 1 because this is Outer Worlds 2. Bioshock vibe? No, it does have a Bioshock vibe too. I mean, the whole game does. I mean, the whole Outer Worlds series does. And yeah, I mean, the game performs pretty good with frame generation too. Like, it's like just the cherry on top of the cake. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna actually disable everything. DLAA, go back to DLAA, disable frame generation, and go up to 1440p. I'm gonna put 1440p there, disable those from there, and actually hope that it doesn't crash. No, it doesn't crash. This game is good. This game is a good implementation of Unreal Engine 5 powers, and this is still running on high settings, but now as you can see, it's like 40 FPS on native resolution. Now it looks much sharper because 1440p, again, like the jump from 1080p to 1440p is way bigger than the jump from 1440p to 4K. But the pixel count is more. Like from 1440p to 4K, the pixel count is bigger than from 1080p to 1440p. But again, we hit those diminishing returns because 1440p is too sharp. At a certain point, I think it's like 1800p. You can't tell anymore like the difference unless like you're sitting as close as like to the screen as me now right now. It's like I have like an arm length like of. It's a little bit more than an arm length, but hey, it's like it's fairly close. And this is like a 48-inch. I like the big screen kind of effect. It actually immerses me into the game. I don't keep paying attention to the outside world. And right now, let's go use DLSS Quality because DLSS Quality is gonna save us. Probably gonna go close to 60 FPS again, or 60 FPS or more. Nope, close to 60 FPS. It's 54 FPS, which is again, nobody use native resolution. Native resolution is something of the past, and this game is actually optimized pretty well, even without frame generation, even without native resolution. I mean, even without DLSS, not native. Even with native resolution on DLSS, the fuck. Can I just? Can I just skip this? Why did I even guess? All right, let me just go back. All right, I just wanted to skip that conversation. I don't like to do this conversation while I'm benchmarking games. It just irritates me. Let's go and use DLSS Performance. And again, DLSS Performance does look exactly the same as native resolution. DLSS Quality a little bit better. And actually it looks sharper with DLSS. Performance or Quality. It looks sharper than native resolution. Yeah, I think that DLSS 4 look to it makes it look sharper. But hey, you can still, like, look at the VRAM. It's still 5.3. It goes back to 5.4, it goes down again to 5.3, but still like VRAM utilization is still fairly the same. And I would say like this is how I would play this game, like 1440p DLSS Performance on this GPU. If I have like a Ryzen 5 5600X or like a Ryzen 7 7600X or something, I would actually play it 1440p on like DLSS Performance, which is gonna be like 720p upscale to 1440p, and frame generation on top. If you like frame generation, if you don't like, because right now frame generation does not really have that input latency anymore. It's like improved. 4x does, but this is like a 30 series. It doesn't really have a 4x. It only has like 2x, which is the automatic frame generation number. So right now with frame generation on DLSS Performance, not Quality, the 1% lows are 1. Yeah, the 1% loads, even they are bad with frame generation. I'm gonna keep saying this in each one of my videos. DLSS frame generation fucks with the 1% loads calculation. It just makes it bamboozled. It just doesn't know what to calculate anymore. So that's why it's slow. As you can see, like even the frame time. Let me just remove myself. The frame time graph is thicker. You see that the frame time graph is not even. It doesn't even know like what is going on. It's thick. The line should be thin, but it's thick right now because it doesn't really know what's going on. And that's why the 1% lows are not being calculated that precisely. But hey, you don't really see any stuttering or anything like that. I mean, the game runs smoothly, fine. And now it's using, 5.7 because of the frame generation aspect. Frame generation needs somewhere to reside. Those frames are not going to be like stored in the cloud. They have somewhere to reside, and that's the VRAM. The VRAM, somebody is talking. A female. Oh, right here. I didn't. What? Right here. Because I know that this guy is a guy, not a female. Then I hear a female. I thought he was talking like that. Video on. Can I steal? Yeah, I think I can steal. Again, these are collectibles. Every game has like collectibles right now, and the collectibles are like comics, comic books, or like comic posters or something like that. All right, frame generation on 1440p is pretty good. You don't really see anything right now. Let's make a test right now. Let's do a test. Let's go to native resolution without even frame generation, right? And let's see, because let's get a baseline of the FPS that I have. So it's 40 FPS without anything on native resolution 1440p. So let's drop it to medium settings, which is what you should be actually using on this GPU. But hey, I mean, let's see. So not a very big difference, but you can see like the difference in quality of the game is yeah, the tree looks much duller. Like it looks flat. The sand as well. I mean, the sand, you know, relatively looks. This one looks like it has became grainy or some shit like that. Yeah, the rocks are still somewhat how they looked before, but it's just a little bit grainy. This tree looks now like too like flat. Doesn't have any textures to it. I don't know. The sand looks relatively good. The shadows, they do have like those grainy edges, but for what? For like 8 or like 5? No, not 5. Like 10 more FPS. I would actually use upscaling rather than use medium settings. Keep it high and use DLSS performance and frame generation. Keep it you know, on the high settings. Nope, don't use ray tracing. What happened? What happened? And as you can see right now, even with DLSS performance, the tree doesn't look flat. It does look like it has some textures to it. This rock still looks grainy. I think that's how it was designed. The textures of the sand is still, you know, looks the same, but it's better. Yeah, I mean, everything, the grain on the shadows, on the edges of the shadows are less right now. Again, as I said yesterday in the 5090 video, you should use ultra or like go home, because the shadows have like some kind of quirks to them. But hey, they don't look as grainy as with medium settings, right? It looks better with high settings. Just use DLSS performance and frame generation. It's gonna be looking the same. The input latency is I don't think that there's any input latency anymore. Like it's like there is nothing. I'm not sure if there's someone who could like feel some like 0.006 milliseconds of difference, because that's impossible for the human eye to actually detect. But hey, I think it's there's somebody somewhere always they're gonna be, oh, frame generation, I always feel the input latency without even actually feeling the input latency. So let's try one more thing, which is gonna be 4K. Oh, I don't think the 4K is gonna be a good fit for this GPU, but hey, I'm gonna keep with DLSS performance. I'm gonna turn off frame generation. 4K is too much again. Oh, it didn't go to 4K. Yeah, this GPU does not like 4K, but hey, let's increase the size of that overlay. And even with DLSS performance, it's 44 FPS. Damn. Oh, it looks like too sharp. Too sharp. It looks too good. But again, this is 46 FPS. And again, nobody complains and they go, oh, we're running 46 FPS on the 4K. This is a fucking 3060, man. I see every time I have like a 3060 and I try 4K and it's like 30 FPS, people fucking complain in the comments like, oh, it's running 30 FPS. What the fuck do you expect? This is a 3060, a low-end GPU. It was mid-range, now it's low-end. 5 years ago it was mid-range, now it's low-end. GPU running 4K at 40 FPS, it's acceptable. And if I say it's smooth relatively to 4K, don't go, oh, you think 40 FPS is smooth. I see like a lot of stupid people commenting, like they take shit out of context. For example, on Doom The Dark Ages, I literally said 30 FPS in this game feels much better than 60 FPS and feels smoother than 60 FPS in most games. And people said in the comments, I mean, one person, not really a lot of people, but there were like a lot of replies on that comment. Oh, you think 30 FPS is smooth? Oh, you must be stupid. Really? Really? You just take that 30 FPS is smooth portion of what all the whole sentence that I said and say, that's what I all said, like that's what my whole point of the view, like, what the fuck? Like, don't be retarded. You know what I mean? Just be smart. Be smart. If you think the game doesn't run good at 4K on a 3060 Ti, because it shouldn't. That's why. all right, I'm gonna stop ranting about stupid people in the comments. But hey, there are a lot of smart people in the comments, and I know I see the comments, and people actually have some, some good things to say. I know that the minority is the one that's stupid, but they just, it's just like, why would you like even bother? Like sometimes I would try to ignore, but I see like 2 or 5 like replies saying the same thing. Like I just have to like comment on that comment or reply to that comment and say, no, you are being stupid right now. It shouldn't be running 4K because it's not a 4K GPU. Let's run DLSS frame generation. And I know people, there are like stupid people. I go like to Facebook and look at groups. Like there are a lot of stupid people. Just same as like Linus and Jay keep saying, like on Facebook there is a lot of stupid people, and same with YouTube. It's just like other people don't really bother with commenting, but they just keep getting on my nerves, like seeing. And the problem is they see the game running pretty smoothly on like 1440p and 4K. I mean on 1080p, which is actually what the GPU should be running, and then they ignore everything that's running smooth. And they focus on that 4K 30 FPS, and they say 430 FPS is running smooth. Oh, you must be stupid then. Yeah, I am stupid if thinking 40 FPS smoothly on 4K on a 3060 Ti. Then if that means that I'm stupid, yeah, I'm stupid. But yeah, I forgot that I'm benchmarking the game, and frame generation doesn't really work. Yeah, 4K in general doesn't really work. So what I'm gonna leave you on with DLSS Performance 1440p. Let me just go back to DLSS Performance 1440p. Let's go back to 1440p right here. Put DLSS Performance and frame generation. And actually, I'm gonna adjust the settings again. This is gonna be medium. Visual is gonna be medium. Global illumination medium, and then crowd density medium. And let me just disable frame generation for a second, and you can see now it's like 1440p DLSS Performance and 70 FPS. Am I on DLSS Performance or quality? This is performance, all right. Because on 1440p and 4K you can't tell anymore. They look basically the same. 60 FPS. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, you can still keep everything high. It's just sometimes it drops to the 60s instead of 70. It's staying like 70 all the time. So if I go back to like making everything high, it's probably gonna go to 60 FPS or 52. No, 60 FPS instead of 70. But again, there's frame generation. You can use that. It's just a mod. Just like click, drag and drop, and it's gonna work flawlessly. Frame generation works with every GPU, no matter if it's 20 series, 30 series, 40 series, AMD GPUs. No, I don't think AMD GPUs is gonna work with this mod. If you have any AMD GPU, just use the FSR 3 frame generation. It's better that way. Even though it feels like it's stuttery or something like that, I'm not sure if like your mileage may vary. For me, it feels like too jittery. And as you can see right now, the 1% lows are bad because frame generation again, and the averages in the current FPS are 100, well, not 10 but 8. It drops to 198. It doesn't feel any input latency or anything like that, and yeah, pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So I am gonna try another GPU, which is gonna be the 4090X, and that GPU probably gonna run the game pretty, smoothly. But you might never know. Some GPUs are like stupid, and some GPUs are like, the drivers. It depends on the drivers again, the driver overhead, and it depends on a lot of factors. But hey, I'm gonna try the 4090 next, or the 3090 Ti, one of them, and see how it runs. And then AMD GPU last, which is the 9060 XT. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment, give me your ideas about what kind of games you play in. What do you think about this game? Do you think it's actually running pretty good on your GPU? Is it running pretty bad? What kind of specs do you have? Don't just say like, oh, your GPU running way better than I've seen. Like, I see a lot of people, they just say, oh, I have the same GPU and it's running on your video way smoother than mine. and then they don't say the CPU. For example, sometimes when I ask them for the CPU, they say the Intel CPUs, like the 13 and 14th gen. And again, those CPUs, they die. And they have like a failure rate of like 100%. So, and especially with latest games, they don't really run those latest games pretty good. It's gonna keep crashing. I'm not sure with this game, but all like latest games, they keep crashing on Intel CPUs. So, yeah, like, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Comment, don't forget to comment, and see you in the next video. Ciao.